What a crazy day in world football, guys. Every story hitting the headlines right now feels more dramatic than the last. And trust me, today's lineup is stacked. We've got absolute madness in France, where Nice Ultras didn't just protest or shout. They yanked players off the team bus and physically attacked them. Something you almost never see in modern football. And honestly, something you hope you never see again. Barcelona? They're winning games. They're technically on top of La Liga. And yet the whole club feels like it's held together by duct tape. Hansi Flick is cracking under the pressure, the board is losing patience, and the name at the top of their list to replace him is wild, Cesc Fabregas. Meanwhile, Lamine Yamal gave another interview, and the internet basically exploded. Fans accuse him of arrogance, journalists are split, and Barcelona's PR department is probably having an aneurysm again. Real Madrid want a Ronaldo back in their academy, but not the Cristiano, his son. And the symbolism of that move is incredible. And Mykhailo Mudryk looks like his comeback might be way sooner than expected. And Chelsea already have a plan in place that could decide the rest of his career. We're diving into all of that, plus Liverpool's situation, plus Real Madrid's coaching drama. And trust me, today's episode is loaded. You guys know what to do. Drop a like. It genuinely pushes the channel forward. Grab your food, kick back, and enjoy your daily football fix. Barcelona might be sitting on top of La Liga again, but if you've watched even a handful of their games this season, you know something feels off. They're winning, yeah, but they're not convincing, not dominant, not Barcelona. The team's rhythm has dropped, the energy isn't there, the identity looks blurred, and the guy feeling that pressure more than anyone is Hansi Flick. After the Alaves match, cameras caught Flick looking completely burned out, not angry, not frustrated, just empty. And that's alarming, because one thing Flick always had, whether at Bayern or with Germany, was intensity. He's a coach who feeds off detail, structure, attitude. But now, he looks like someone who's trying to push a car with no engine in it. Let's be honest here. Barca being on top of the league right now has as much to do with Real Madrid's meltdown as it does with Barca's actual football. The wins haven't felt solid. Some of them were saved by individual brilliance, some by luck, some by opponents collapsing. The vibe is wrong, and Flick senses it. According to Defensa Central, Flick's confidence in the project has basically taken a hit. Not because he doesn't like Barcelona, he loves the idea of coaching them, but because the reality is far from what he expected. The squad has talent, sure, but the structure isn't working. Training sessions reportedly don't have the same intensity he wants. Players aren't reacting to his instructions the way he imagined when he took the job. He feels like he's trying to build a palace with cardboard pieces. Some insiders even say the players have stopped believing in the long-term plan. Not openly, but you can see it in the body language, in the hesitation, in the lack of aggression in games they should dominate. It's that simple. It's already being discussed quietly behind the scenes. Lose the title, Flick walks away. Win it, maybe he stays, but even that's not guaranteed. Because things are breaking on multiple levels. Some members of the Barca board believe Flick is losing control of the dressing room. Not in a dramatic player revolt way, but in that subtle, dangerous way where players nod during team meetings, say the right things, but then play on the pitch like they're following their own scripts. That's how coaches die quietly, not from explosions, but from slow leaks. And this is where the story gets really interesting. The club has already begun looking at potential coaches for next season, and one name keeps coming up: Cesc Fabregas. His rise at Como has been one of the most surprising coaching stories in Europe. He's young, but he coaches like someone who's been managing for 10 years. His football is brave, attacking, aggressive, the kind of football Barcelona fans dream of watching again. Como were in Serie B just 2 years ago. Now they're fighting for a Champions League spot in Serie A. Yes, the club spent money, but multiple analysts agree the football identity is 100% Fabregas. Even Pep Guardiola, who never hands out compliments for free, praised him publicly. Deco likes him, Laporta likes him, fans absolutely love the idea. Fabregas is La Masia. He understands the club's identity better than most people in the world. Pressing, verticality, quick combinations, playing with courage, breaking low defensive blocks. something Barca struggle with more than any top team in Europe. And he's a natural communicator. Players respond to him. Media love him. Fans trust him. The fit is almost too perfect. Here's the crazy part. Only at Barcelona could a coach be first in the league, ahead of Real Madrid, and still be considered at risk. But that's the culture. This club doesn't care about the table. It cares about the feeling. And right now, the feeling isn't good. Barca are winning, but they're not Barca. Flick knows it, the board knows it, and Fabregas is waiting in the wings. Let's shift to Madrid, and to one of the most symbolic transfer stories of the year. Real Madrid want to bring a Ronaldo back into their academy, but not Cristiano, his son. Cristiano Ronaldo Jr., 15 years old and already making enough noise in youth football that the biggest club in the world wants him wearing white again. According to Ebola, Madrid scouts have been tracking his progress for months. They like his physicality. He's strong for his age. They like his technique. Smooth, confident, very polished, and most importantly, he performs in key moments. That's the one thing you can't teach. It's in the DNA. Last summer, he won a trophy with Portugal's U15s and scored twice in the final. That earned him an immediate promotion to an older age category. He responded to pressure the same way his father did his entire career, by owning the moment. Football is changing fast. Kids are breaking into senior squads earlier and earlier. Max Daumann made a Champions League debut for Arsenal at 15. So if Ronaldo Jr. ends up in an elite environment, Real Madrid's academy, surrounded by top coaches, his development could jump levels very quickly. And here's the key. This is not a marketing stunt, not nostalgia, not feel-good PR. Madrid genuinely believe the kid can become a top player if he's developed correctly. And if there's one place on earth where a Ronaldo can explode into a superstar again, it's the Bernabéu. Cristiano Ronaldo changed more than football. He reshaped culture, image, work ethic, the look of what a modern footballer is. Kids grew up with his poster on the wall. Teenagers copied his celebrations. Entire generations tried to model their work rate after his. Even in the women's game, someone like Kiana Dufour, one of the rising stars and a viral social media personality, has said Cristiano was one of her inspirations. That's the type of legacy you can't buy. If Ronaldo Jr. signs, Madrid get a real prospect, a global storyline, continuity of a legend, and insane fan engagement. Imagine the Bernabéu 10 years from now, chanting, "Ronaldo, Ronaldo" again, only this time, they're chanting for his son. There's something beautiful about that. Let's move to England, and to one of the fastest rising midfielders in the Premier League. Elliot Anderson has gone from being Nottingham Forest's promising talent to being their best player this season. Maybe even one of the most complete midfielders in the league right now. And the big clubs, they've taken notice. He's got the full package. Strength, he doesn't get pushed off the ball. Dribbling, surprisingly clean for a player his size. Intelligence, picks the right spaces, times his runs perfectly. Passing, sharp, accurate, always forward thinking. Discipline, he rarely loses concentration. Ambition, the guy plays like he's trying to earn a move every single week. If he stays on this trajectory, he becomes a £100 million midfielder. Easily. United's midfield issues are well known. Casemiro is slower. Bruno Fernandes is inconsistent and doesn't defend. Amrabat never settled. Baleba is talented but raw. Anderson could solve half their problems in one signing. He's more mobile than Casemiro, more reliable defensively than Bruno, a better passer than Baleba, and arguably on the same level, or better, than Gallagher or Joao Gomes. But here's the catch. Nottingham Forest want a ridiculous fee, and their owner, Evangelos Marinakis, is infamous for being impossible at the negotiation table. This changes everything. According to Sasha Tavaleri, City are actually leading the race right now. Tiki Begiristain loves Anderson. City scouts watched him more than 10 times, which says a lot, because they rarely scout a Premier League player that heavily unless they really want him. The only problem? The price. Nottingham want close to £100 million. City think he's worth significantly less. The player himself reportedly prefers Manchester City. And when a young midfielder chooses Guardiola, it usually means the transfer eventually happens. The negotiations will be painful, but Anderson is worth every headache. He looks like the kind of player who could explode under Pep. Now to Italy, and to one of the craziest stories of the week. Jamie Vardy moved to Cremonese in the summer because he wanted one last adventure outside England. Serie A is slower, more tactical, perfect for veterans. But during an away match versus Roma, his home was robbed. Thieves stole Patek Philippe watches, jewelry, cash, roughly 100,000 euros in total. For a footballer, the money is whatever. You can replace watches, you can replace jewelry, but the feeling of being violated, that your home isn't safe, that stays. Instead of collapsing mentally, instead of drifting through the next game, Vardy did exactly what Jamie Vardy always does. He went out and scored a brace. A huge away win over Bologna, one of the strongest teams in Serie A this season. At 38 years old, he's 2 goals behind Lautaro Martinez and Riccardo Orsolini in the scoring race, while playing for Cremonese. That's insane. Jamie Vardy is basically the human version of a Red Bull commercial. No matter what hits him, he just keeps going. Now let's come back to Barcelona because Lamine Yamal is in the middle of another PR storm. He finally gave a big interview to CBS. It was supposed to be a positive piece, talk about his journey, his inspirations, his goals. It actually got delayed once already because of the drama before El Clasico, when Barca's staff were trying to control the narrative around his behavior. But even with that caution, the interview still blew up. He said Neymar is his idol. He said he studied Messi's passing. He said he plays to make people happy. All normal, all harmless. The moment everything flipped was when he talked about his influence. He said things like, "People started watching football again because of me. My mom watches every match now. Girls on the street say they watch football because of me. Kids wear boots to school because of me. Tourists buy Barcelona shirts with number 10 because of me." And this is where the internet exploded. It's not that the statements are impossible. Yamal is a superstar. Kids do copy him. People do talk about him everywhere. But the way he said it, confidently, casually, made him sound like a young Cristiano without Cristiano's achievements. Some fans said he sounds like Neymar with the ego dialed up to 10. Others said he's getting too much attention too fast, and the timing was terrible. This happened right after Cucurella shut him down completely. I usually avoid judging personalities, players get enough hate. But in this case, yeah. Yamal is 17. He's brilliant, but he's still learning how to navigate fame. And sometimes he says things that make him look bigger than he is. A little humility would help him massively. More football, fewer ego quotes. Then everyone will love him, except the hardcore anti-Barca crowd who never will. Let's jump back to Spain, because Real Madrid are entering one of the most fragile moments of their season, and Xabi Alonso is right in the center of it. Real Madrid played Girona, a team that should have been a comfortable matchup. Girona press high, their squad is smaller, they're physically inconsistent. On paper, this is the type of opponent Real Madrid usually punish, but instead, Real barely scraped a draw. This wasn't about one match, this was a reflection of something deeper. A team that hasn't shown improvement since Alonso arrived. The intensity isn't there. The aggression is missing. The movement off the ball looks predictable. On the ball, they look nervous, slow, unbalanced. It's strange because Alonso is known for clean structures and clear patterns. Yet at Real, everything looks fuzzy. And the players? They look unconvinced. According to Maria Cartagena from The Athletic, the upcoming match against Athletic Bilbao is a straight-up win-or-you're-gone situation. People inside the dressing room told reporters that Alonso's ideas aren't reaching the players. They listen during meetings. They nod during video sessions. But the execution on the pitch looks half-hearted. That is the worst nightmare for any coach. When players believe, they'll run through walls. When they don't, they jog around them. One insider put it bluntly. The problem isn't Xabi. Mbappe, Vinicius, and Bellingham are incompatible. You can't build a balanced team with all three. That's not about talent, it's about roles. All three want the ball. All three want central positions. All three want freedom, not structure. None of them naturally hold width. You end up with a front line that suffocates its own midfield. And while Alonso is trying to fix the structure, the players are trying to play their own football. That disconnect is deadly. After the Olympiacos match, when Alonso faced criticism, Mbappe, Camavinga, and Valverde all posted messages supporting him. After the Girona draw, silence. Absolute silence. When stars stay quiet, the club listens. And this is the part that really matters. Pepe Alvarez, a very reliable journalist, reports that Real Madrid already made their decision. Zidane, the man who won 3 Champions Leagues in a row, the man the players trust, the man who knows exactly how to manage Real Madrid's big personalities. If Real drop points, Alonso is gone. If they win, he lives to fight another day. That's how thin the line is right now. Now let's move to a story no one expected to turn this quickly. Michailo Mudryk might return earlier than anyone anticipated, and Chelsea already have a full plan ready. Mudryk recently took a voluntary polygraph test, something almost no player does, and it confirmed he did not take meldonium intentionally. That result reportedly played a huge role in changing the direction of his case. Investigations like this normally drag on for months, sometimes half a year or more, but this one, it's moving fast, shockingly fast. English media now say Mudryk could be cleared to play by mid-January. That would mean a ban of roughly a month and a half. Unheard of speed for anti-doping. Chelsea know Mudryk can't just jump back into Premier League pace after a year without matches. You lose rhythm, explosiveness, timing, confidence, tactical sharpness, decision speed. Even Pogba, after a long break, needed months before playing again. So Chelsea prepared a plan. It makes perfect sense. They're in League One. They're fighting for European spots. They play fast, physical football. They already have several Chelsea loanees. The administration is connected, and the pressure is lower than in England. He can rediscover himself without the spotlight. Mudryk's biggest weapon has always been raw athleticism. Speed, acceleration, explosiveness, power. But you can't maintain match-level explosiveness without match rhythm. You can train all you want, but training is not adrenaline, not pressure, not chaos. These next 6 months will define his future. If he gets speed back, confidence back, timing back, decision-making back, Chelsea give him a second chance. If not, Chelsea sell him, even at a loss. Because a player who hasn't played for a year is a complete unknown. This is the make-or-break stretch of Mudryk's career. Next, a tough story from Barcelona. Ronald Araujo has stepped away from football indefinitely. Not days, not a match or two, indefinite leave. He's been under insane pressure for months. A few mistakes turned into hundreds of memes. Criticism snowballed. The red card against Chelsea became another storm. According to some sources, Araujo showed signs of genuine depression. He didn't feel mentally stable. He felt overwhelmed, exhausted, constantly targeted. And Barcelona responded the right way. Laporta said after the Chelsea game, "I want to protect Araujo. The criticism is unfair. He gives everything. He's our captain and a very emotional person." Deco echoed the message. Barca gave Araujo time off, no training, no matches, full focus on recovery, zero pressure to return. Fans often underestimate how hard it is mentally. One mistake is everywhere. 2 mistakes become a narrative. 3 mistakes turn into memes. And after that, people don't see a player anymore. They see a punchline. Bojan Krkić once described it perfectly. He said the pressure at Barca can crush even the strongest minds. He was compared to Messi at 17. At 22, he was battling for survival at Stoke. That's how fast pressure destroys you. He could have left last summer. Barca could have bought a center back more suited for a high defensive line. The club didn't push. The player stayed. Everyone believed stability would help, but now the situation is dangerous. Barca don't have a center back, and Araujo is showing the early signs of burnout that Bojan once described. His comeback will depend entirely on his mental recovery. Football can wait. Human beings come first. And now, the most shocking incident of the entire round. What happened in Nice was beyond football. It was raw violence. The city itself is beautiful, luxury, beaches, calm. But their ultras? One of the most aggressive groups in France, known for violence, riots, and extremely toxic behavior. And this season has been a disaster. Nice have lost 6 matches in a row, including humiliations by Porto and Marseille and defeats to Metz and Lorient. Relegation-level teams in the Europa League, dead last, 0 points in 5 games. After the loss to Lorient, Sofiane Diop tried talking to fans, but it didn't help. When the team landed back in Nice, more than 400 ultras were waiting at the training base. 400. Security guards panicked. The club allowed one ultra to enter the bus to talk. They thought it would calm the crowd. It did the opposite. The ultra threatened the players directly and told them to get off the bus. The players obeyed, and that was the moment everything collapsed. At first it was chants, then pressure, then insults, and finally, full-on assaults. The main victims were Tara Mafi and Jeremy Boga. Witnesses reported they were punched in the face, kicked repeatedly, pulled by the hair, hit in the groin, spit on, thrown to the ground. Surrounded by dozens of fans, sporting director Florian Maurice was slapped multiple times and hid behind bodyguards. This is not fan anger. This is not ultra passion. This is criminal violence. Back then, players were threatened. Here, they were physically beaten. There will be arrests. There must be. And honestly, it's almost certain Mafi and Boga will look for a way out as soon as the window opens. Rebuilt the squad once already. A person who understands trends and performance data better than almost anyone in football. And he believes Slot should stay, because Edwards thinks results are noisy, misleading, especially when a team is transitioning. He and Slot had a long meeting last week where they agreed on one thing. Based on XG, based on chance creation, based on pressing metrics, Liverpool should have won most of those recent losses. You can be unlucky for a match or two, but unlucky for 5 or 6, that's variance, not collapse. Another big reason Liverpool want patience is the rebuild. Fans sometimes forget this. Rebuilds aren't clean, they're messy, they're unstable. They come in waves, good weeks, terrible weeks, then a breakthrough. Usually, a rebuild happens right when the new manager arrives. Everyone expects chaos at the beginning, but Slot got the opposite effect. He walked in. Results were good immediately, and expectations became unrealistic. Then the rebuild phase hit, and fans panicked, even though this is the normal part. That's why he isn't worried. He knew. New signings need adjustment. The squad is changing. Injuries were inevitable. Form dips always happen during tactical transition. He didn't expect Slot to dominate from day one. He expected turbulence. So right now, Liverpool's plan is simple. Patience. Fix the small details. Wait for the injured players to return. Let the new structure settle. Don't panic over the table in December. Slot isn't safe forever, but he's safe today. The club believes he'll pull them out of this, and in modern football, that kind of trust is rare.